What's good, YouTube family? It's your boy DJ. It's been a minute, but I'm back at y'all with another one. Guys, we are living in the end times, man. The dollar is not what it used to be. You got people taking each other's lives like it's nothing. Inflation is everywhere. Food shortage. Russia and China are becoming best friends. Like, guys, we are living in the end times, man. So we got to get ready. We got to be prepared for what's about to come. It's going to be a reality check for a lot of us. But if you would take this warning, and I'm not the only one, it's been many other people that's been giving out warnings. Take this warning and get your life together. I got a video for y'all, nice little clip. I need y'all to watch it all the way to the end. And y'all got to like and subscribe for your boy. I love y'all. Have a blessed day.
Chinese President Xi Jinping is now wrapped up his three-day meeting with Russian counterpart Vladimir Putin by pledging to shape a new world order.
Yeah, and listen to this language. Xi told Putin that they are driving changes not seen in a century.
Is the United States dollar under threat? Well, the U.S. dollar became the backbone of the global economy after World War II because of America's robust economy, its democracy, and its transparent regulatory systems, which made the nation seem like a safe place for international investors. But now the BRICS nations, Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa, have announced plans to develop a new currency. Their goal is to reduce reliance on the U.S. dollar and other Western currencies as well.
Steve, are they ready for this? China is now trying to replace the U.S. dollar with their currency in global trade. What do you think of that story, Steve?
Well, China for several years has made very clear, along with the Russians, they want to downgrade the dollar because they think that'll enhance their power around the world. And certainly the way we've treated the dollar over the year has gone in that direction. However, people are not going to trust the Chinese yuan. You may get these one-off deals like they're doing with the French, but China does not have real capital markets. China has capital controls. And so in terms of currency, people are going to prefer the dollar to the yuan. And so in that sense, I think we've got some time to get our house in order.
But on the other hand, people do believe a little bit of Xi's brokering of the Iran-Saudi Arabia deal not too long ago. He is trying to portray himself as being a world leader.
Right.
Now, it's not that credible in the Western world, but it is becoming more credible in developing countries, and that's really the audience he's aiming at.
And Ambassador, what do you make of the release, the joint statement Putin and Xi release after their meeting, effectively calling the U.S. and its allies a major security threat in Asia? We know that there's a debate over the South China Sea, that there's this kind of potential war with Taiwan hanging in the balance between China and that nation.
People today recognizing more and more we're in deep trouble. They're very, very anxious about what's happening around the world. The seizure of that journalist is one example, but also China's now trying to secure the South China Sea, which is an international waterway. And so everything this country is doing is just feeding what our adversaries think is a declining power. And yes, we did respond to Ukraine, but we're not supplying enough weaponry so they can throw out the Russian invaders. So Putin is getting a second chance there. And the Chinese look at that and say the U.S. does not have the staying power that it had after World War II. And that's a very dangerous situation.
In fact, Brazil and China have already struck a deal to bypass the dollar when paying for trade goods, which is a major milestone in Beijing's long-term plans to establish its own currency, the yuan, as the dominant international currency.
It's very convenient for every nation to use the U.S. dollar as its settlement mechanism. However, as I said earlier, the substantial increase in U.S. interest rates in the last 6 months has really brought home to emerging economies in particular that have dollar-denominated debt that there's a significant risk in being overly dependent on the U.S. dollar for their reserves, for their trade settlements. And so that's the basis on which we're seeing this BRICS concept emerge right now. That's why we're seeing it today as opposed to a year ago. The Chinese have, of course, long aspired to develop a digital yuan as an alternative trading currency.
China feels that the United States is trying to contain it. It's trying to stop China's rise. It's trying to stop China from being a player. And of course, that doesn't go over very well in China. On the other hand, we in the United States were concerned about China's growth. And so we have aligned ourselves with Pacific countries, Australia, Japan, et cetera. And we are trying to figure out ways to stop China's rise. To be honest, the relationship between the U.S. and China is falling precipitously. It's going to continue to fall, frankly, until a couple of things happen. One is either some extraordinary leadership in China and or in the U.S., and frankly, I don't see that happening.
In the bid to strengthen ties, South Africa's governing party, the African National Congress, also known as the ANC, has sent senior officials to Russia to discuss reshaping of the global order with the Russian President Vladimir Putin. The Russian president also signed a new foreign policy which aimed at curtailing Western dominance.